Hello, Leos. All right, Leos, let's see what kind of week you're going to have since we're closing out a cycle. We're closing out a cycle. We had a full moon and a partial lunar eclipse. I believe it was on the 17th of September. Yeah, so let's see what kind of week you're going to have coming up. This cycle that we're in actually closes on October the 1st, and then we enter into a new phase within a new cycle on October 2nd, and we have a new moon in Libra. In Libra, we're not talking about any Libras that you know, but the sign Libra is a very peaceful, balanced out zodiac sign, sits in the middle of the other zodiac sign. So let's see what kind of week you're going to have. Of course, you're going to set an intention when you wake up, whatever your rituals are. But yeah, what kind of week do you intend on having? Let's see what's in the cards. Take only what resonates with you. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. Let's do it. All right. So, all right. Some people have been having some conversations. Okay. You've been sitting around a table having some conversations, right? 10 of Cups. Or at least been talking about having some meetings. Here we have the 5 of Pentacles here. We have the 6 of Wands here. We have the Dame of Swords here. Hold on for a second. The 10 of Wands here. And then also the Page of Wands here. So, sitting around a table, having some conversations. Trying to enter into the next phase of your life, right? So here's the difference between this and this, Leos, right? So you notice just in pictures, very powerful, right? So these are the kind of conversations you would rather have. You'd rather be in sacred spaces, right? Very divine connections, right? But people have been in these spaces right here where you've just been kind of sort of left out, feeling like you're in the cold, just kind of people getting what they want from you that's of value to them. But then you're just kind of sort of left out in the cold. So what Source is trying to help somebody to be at peace with is just being okay with knowing your own value and knowing your own worth. That's what peace is like. What Source is saying to you, be at peace with it. Just be at peace with it. When people don't want you to have access to their lives, be at peace with it. Know your worth and know your value. Don't bring that your fire sign. So you don't need to bring out a blowtorch and force your way into anything, and force your way into anybody's life, into, their vault. Let me just say that their vault, their life, into their whatever. You don't need to. If it's somebody's rejecting you from something, so it's like that's protecting you from something. So yeah, you don't need to have a sit around conversation about, well, I wonder what's going on in somebody's life. And that's not what's sacred about that. What's divine about that? There's no divinity within all of that. So Source is saying, I see you getting back on your horse and moving forward. You and somebody getting back. It's two of you getting back on your horse. So you gotta know who's behind something, right? You got to know who's behind you, the spirit of who's behind you in something. And is that something you want to partner with? Do you want to be on that kind of a team where people are just, like I said, because the same energy will get what they need from you and then devalue you. So that's what Source is trying to help somebody understand. Get back to being booked and busy and not carrying somebody else's spirit that causes heaviness, on you, right? That roasting spirit, talking about what people got going on in their house and what they have versus what they don't have. That negativity. Source is trying to help you be at peace with your vault, your life, what's going on in your life. That's it. It's not a competition. That's what Source is trying to help somebody understand. That's how you're going to live a more peaceful life. So yeah, so that's what's going to make your week peaceful. Not even wanting to be involved. Like what they got going on in their house or going on in their life is of no concern. I got enough going on in my own table. That's what's going to be right here for you. You got enough going on at your own table. And Source is trying to cook up something nice for you. So you're going to be victorious at convincing whoever is behind something, to say, you know what? We don't need to know what's going on in what's going on in people's lives when we can pray. We can just pray. Yeah, because when you're talking about water, water speaks to sexuality, it speaks to sensuality, it speaks to feelings, the emotional state of something, it speaks to um, mirroring or cameras, it speaks to like monitoring, like being a monitoring spirit. I gotta monitor this, I gotta monitor that, I gotta monitor that. Who's behind all of this monitoring going on? So source is saying to you, when you could just pray. When you could just pray. Because I'm familiar with this and I'm familiar with that. Source is saying, put yourself on the receiving end of something. Put yourself on the receiving end of something. Put yourselves on the receiving end of something. So yeah. So I feel like this is a week that you're going to be at peace with something and just, just be at peace with something. Here we have the 6 of Wands here. Yep. So, yeah. Here we have the 7 of Swords here. See that 7 right here? 7 means that you're completing something. Somebody's going to think that you know something because you are completing something. They're going to look at you as if, what is Leo? Why this sudden change in Leo's mood? Somebody's going to think that about you. Why the sudden change? Why doesn't Leo want to have conversations with whoever these energies are? Why all of a sudden a switch up in Leo's conversations now? They're going to think that you're hiding something. But something about your energy is changing, Leo. Something about your spirit is really changing. Somebody is definitely moving more towards calmer waters, wanting to have more divine connections. I mean, really, truly divine connections. You just really want to be at peace. You want to be in spaces where, and I got to show you these 2 pictures again. When you get up from the table, you want to know that you're not being talked about. People are not making disparaging comments about you behind your back. You want to know that when you enter a room filled with people sitting at the table, that the temperature doesn't drop to freezing temperatures, right? You want to know that when you're pouring into people, it's not being talked about behind your back. You want to know that people are being sincere and genuine with you, whether they are related to you in family. We're talking about earth, right? Physical body. And we're talking about also spirit, right? Spirit, we're talking about emotion, right? That people are not talking to other people about, oh, this person is crazy. Oh, I saw this. And look how they keep their house and all of this. Like, you want people to not do that to you. So Source is saying something about your energy is really starting to change, and so Source is actually going to reward you for that. So that's what this 7 of Swords is. Source is saying that they're going to be, people are just like wondering something is changing about your spirit. That's why you see so much fire here. And it's going to catch on to other people's spirit. Other people are going to be like, you know what? Yeah, I wouldn't want I wouldn't want to feel that way either. So yeah. Yeah, because you don't want to carry the heaviness of that particular spirit of just like a burden that you're putting on someone else. You don't want somebody else to put that burden on of just feeling like, what are they watching their back for? Like, why do they have to be, whoever? So this right here. So I feel like this is going to be a week that you're going to get some rest. This is the week. So when we are entering, we're already in a new moon phase. So this new moon is, or just not just this new moon, it's just new moon in general. New moon is an opportunity for everybody to get their rest so that their bodies can sync with the rhythms of this new moon. So we just happen to have a new moon in Libra, right? Yeah. So I see you sitting on your throne, down to earth, relatable, relaxing, sitting yourself in your house, and just being in receiving mode of just downloads. Just in a very peaceful head space for you. Just being in a very peaceful head space. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Yep. All right. Yeah. Third eye wide open. Yeah. Third eye wide open. Receiving downloads. That's what I see for you. I see you just kind of, in your hermit shell, just kind of, or in your hermit crab shell, just praying. That's what I see. I see somebody just spending this week just increasing your prayer and your meditation life. That's what I see, just in very peaceful spaces. So here we have the Three of Wands. And something about when you come out of this, maybe you're adding fasting to something, but I feel like somebody also may be taking some Dead Sea salt baths too. Like unless you live near salt water, like open salt water or something like that, like you live near a beach, a lake, a stream or something like that, you may be taking some salt baths and just thinking about just taking a leap of faith, and just praying for some things that you want for yourself. You know, just you. What do you want for you? There's a sea of opportunities for you. And that's what's going to cause some people to think, okay, something has shifted in their emotions about something. What is it? What is it that's shifted in your emotions about something? You're learning how to balance it out. That's Libra. Libras are scales of balance. Scales of justice. You're not going to do an injustice to yourself anymore by carrying other people's spirit on your shoulders. So it's just saying to you, everything is fine. Yep, everything is fine. Somebody has been around people who just talk about people behind their back. You can't even get up from the table good without people talking about you behind your back. You can't even enter a room good without feeling the temperature drop. So once you're around those types of energies, you already know how other people who have left those groups already felt the same thing. They're going through the same transition you're going through right now. So that's what Source is saying to you, and the same thing they felt. Like, okay, it's not so much somebody saying, oh, you better watch your back and such and such and such and such. I mean, maybe some people have, but it's more of like, okay, you just gotta watch out for yourself. Like, wow, you know, all people are seeing like they're adults, but like just the cattiness of it all is like, you got to watch what you say. You got to watch. You can't let your guards down and just kind of sort of be, you know. So all of this fire right here speaks to spirituality in action. Like you can't, any actions, you know, that you take, like in terms of just like taking, like wanting to participate and like saying, raising your hand and saying, hey, I have an idea, like at work or whatever, in your personal, your professional, like saying you have an idea, okay, look, we should create this or we should create that, or, you know, talked about, you can't even leave the room, or if you enter a room, you know, somebody's already stolen the idea, you know, like what in the world, you know, because people are familiar. We're talking about the familiar spirits and monitoring spirits. So Source is trying to help somebody to just really learn, put yourself on the receiving end of, like you've already been on that end, and just see how just remember how that feels. So some major shift is happening, you know, for you. So that's what you're going to be at peace with this week. And people are going to wonder, like, what has changed? What has shifted? What has shifted in your reality? So, all right, let's see what else we got going on. Let's get some oracle cards here before we dive back into this. Yeah, let's with some. Yeah, let's. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so nobody should have to feel like they, you know, getting a surprise, like a surprise visit. Like, you know, people have given them the cold shoulder. Now all of a sudden people like knock, 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 knock at their door, like getting a surprise visit. Just because people are sitting around discussing stuff. You know, oh, we're familiar with this and we're familiar and we know about this and we know and not familiar with anything. Not familiar with anything. So somebody is aware of something. So it's time for you to meditate and contemplate some things. Because if you're in receiving mode of some downloads of people just gossiping about some things, you've been on the receiving end. That's how you've heard people say you go looking for something. You know, you go looking for something that you really don't know what you're looking for, then and it's not always a bad surprise. It's actually something good, but you now really shut yourselves out of something. You know, so Source is saying, yeah, all these people sitting around here, so show the world the real you. Yeah, show the world the real you. So, yeah. Yeah, so adjustments are required. The answers that you need are coming. You know, the answers that you need are coming. And so your dreams need a practical plan. And so it's a time for healing. It's a time for healing. Time for healing. So it's just really trying to help somebody to see that you're really a humanitarian. Like, okay, you've been in this kind of position before. You know, you've been in a position where people feel like they were familiar with your mental health, your sexual health, your feelings, your emotions, your mood, they feel like they were so familiar with you from what they heard, Leos, that they created something that may not have even been there. They just created some stuff, right? So Source is saying to you, it creates an environment where people feel like they can't trust people. So that's what Source is trying to help you to learn how to do. Is this like when people warm up to people, when I feel like this is for you, Leos, like when people have warmed up to you real quick and they feel like, okay, they familiar, they think they know you, and they feel like they well within their rights. See this card right here? They well within their right to just show up. Y'all know what I'm saying. If I had to add a little comedic spin to it, they just show up at your house unannounced. It adds a layer of betrayal. That's just like, what, with all of this technology, people just pop up, at your house, didn't call, didn't whatever, and they feel like, oh, we're familiar, we know this, and don't know anything. That closes off access for good for some people. This closes off access completely for good. So I feel like this is it doesn't leave room for, like I said, it doesn't leave room for this divine conversations. It just leaves room. It's just like, it looks like misery loves company. That's what it looks like. So that's what the devil is. The devil is in the details. So it doesn't look like divine, like God is in it. Most High God doesn't look like Source is in it at all, right? Where, okay, let's pray for something, right? Let's pray. So yeah, let's all get together and just like really, really just, pray that everything is okay. Let's pray, if people were really concerned. Y'all know what I'm saying, Leos, y'all know what I'm saying. Like sometimes people come under the guise of prayer. Like they're pretending like, oh, they're so concerned, but it's really just for the purpose of just being nosy, and they make situations worse. So Sources said, if you've ever been on that receiving end, you don't want to do that to somebody else. So yeah, so Sources saying everything is fine. Everything is fine. So yeah, pray for strength. Pray for something, pray for strength. Yeah, here we have the 8 of Pentacles. So yeah, so some drinks could be going around, and that's another spirit. That's another spirit, where somebody could just be getting kind of sort of revved up or wired up, So Sources like, but this could also be apple cider vinegar. It could also be grape juice, right? It could also be grape juice, right? So here we have the 7 of Swords here. Yep. So yeah, pray for strength. Here we also have the 5 of Pentacles here. Yep. This right here, plus this and this. Hold on. And icy cold emotions. And trash talking. Plus a different kind of spirit equals this. Yeah, so it just equals, it's a recipe for disaster. So yeah, so Source is trying to help somebody to learn how to, pray instead of like pray instead of prey, like not jump to conclusions about things. That's what Source is trying to tell you, which will actually can cause a backdraft. So that's what we see the 3 of Wands here, just like taking a leap of faith. Not from fear, 2 different things, right? So here we have the 2 of Wands. So something in your spirit is like bait and switch. Should I not? Should I not? I'm not sure, not really sure. But Source is saying, should you take a cruise? Probably go on a cruise. Right? Because here we have 666, right? Source really wants somebody to raise their frequency just in terms of just like the energies that you're around. If there are other spirits like this right here, if this is alcohol, this is actually adding to spiritual dehydration. And then with that trash talking, all of those other things, you know, behind people's backs, that puts everybody at their lowest frequency. So what Source is trying to help somebody learn how to do is just go back through your own memory bank and just remember how that felt on the receiving end of that. So that's what kind of week I see you having. I see you having that kind of week. That kind of week where you're like, you know what? I don't want to be a part of something that's just like another spirit took over. I want to be a part of work situations where people just sitting around talking trash, because trust me, there are people who are also familiar with you. You gotta keep that in, you gotta keep that. There are people who are also familiar with you. And see, this right here is like, this is the Seven of Swords here. Some people are familiar with your past. I think there, when we talk about Pluto, we have five planets that are 5 outer planets that are currently retrograde. So there are people who are also familiar with your past. There are people who are also talking about you, right? So that's another thing too. And that's what Source is trying to give somebody something to think about. Like, you know, you want to be promoted. You want access to your vault door. You're trying to get to the next level. You've been praying for some things. And so reading the cards upright and in reverse, and Source is saying to you, Page of Wands, Source is trying to cook up something for you. You don't want to align yourself with people who are roasting other people about something, because you got to think, what's the spirit behind that? Like, what is going on? What's the spirit behind that? What is the spirit behind that? So you have some big dreams, and Source has been saying to you, this cycle has been about dreaming bigger. This whole cycle has been about believing in your dreams and taking yourselves out of combat mode, combat zone, combat mode. You gotta fight for everything, and just, you know, like I said before, calming down your fire, your internal fire, with something that's making something worse, instead of saying, okay, I can put some water to that. I can calm this down, and that's your moon sign, so that you can be in meek mode, like your meekness, right? Letting Source fight whatever your battles are, whatever the internal battle struggle is. Let Source fight them. So when things close out, yeah, and you feel like you're at an impasse. That's right, Two of Swords. You feel like you're at an impasse. You can wake up from your own nightmares. Yep, here we have the Four of Wands here. Yep, you can wake up from your own. You can wake up from your own. Because all of this fire here, when you're around this kind of a spirit, people sitting around talking trash, you know, planning and all of this other stuff. If it's on the dark side of things, excuse me, a flame has been lit. A fire has been lit up under everybody sitting around. Some of those people are like, what in the world are we talking about again? Like, what happened? Okay, tell me what, you know, the plan. What's going on? What's the plan? What's what? All of this, and Sources, and something in you is saying, think it through. Think it through. Think it through. Because something can have a backdraft. A big backdraft. Big backdraft. Think it through. Yeah, because the enemy is always looking for, and I'm talking about the only enemy is the devil, not a person, place, or thing. The devil is always presenting something in a way. So yeah, put that fire behind some kind of art, some kind of artistry that you're doing. That's right. So this is a turning point for somebody. This is a turning point for somebody to go within. That's right. Go within. Through prayer. That's what somebody is doing. So I see somebody celebrating something, but it's not what other people are trying to get you to celebrate. So here we have joy. I was created for a purpose. Yeah, so you're celebrating your purpose, some kind of artistry that you're creating, right? Dreaming bigger, right? Where you're not in survival mode, right? Great things happen to me each day. My very presence is a blessing. I believe in myself. Joy is a choice, and I choose joy. Greater is coming. I am enough. So part of your prayer is just praying to just for worthiness, like praying that you know your own worth and your own value, that you don't need to be a part of something that determines your worth and your value, where, okay, show us your worth and show us your value. So, okay, these are the tasks that you need to do to prove to us that you know your worth and your value, right? There's the target. There's a target. There's the target, right? So yeah, so source is saying take the blindfolds off. Take the blindfolds off. Wake up from a nightmare. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing for you all. So I definitely feel like somebody is replacing anything in that glass with something that does not have a spirit, even if it's too sugary. I see somebody breaking that with water. You know, like if it's too sweet, because some of those even those non-alcoholic drinks could become too sweet and have like 26% sugar in them. But somebody's like breaking that, and just getting like a little bit of sweetness in it. But yeah, judgment. So somebody is breaking a generational cycle, chain, and curse. Somebody is breaking that spirit of always being in survival mode. Somebody is breaking that, and that's what Source is giving you an opportunity to do. And putting that fire behind that I can do it spirit behind creating something that is going to be fire. Like, and I'm talking about like in slang terms, fire. Your artistry. Something is going to be like fire, Yep. So here we have the 10 of Cups. So somebody wants twins. It looks like twins here. So somebody's going to be having twins. Congratulations, right? So somebody has all of this in them to create, like I said before, double something, like a double blessing for you. And that's what Source is trying to get somebody to this space in their life of like creating something double for you. So again, Source is saying when you're sitting around a table and you're talking to people about this and talking about that, be very careful, because like I said, backdraft is a Sun card. So this is make a declaration, to yourself, that this is going to be a good week for you. A good week for you. Positive week. A positive week. There's a Scorpio involved in something. Yep. Shooby-dooby-doo. All right. So yeah, so Scorpio is the death card. Death rebirth card. And it's ruled by the Judgment card and also the Tower card. So the Tower card is a total recall of why you are here on planet Earth. This is your card right here. And so sources say you have a sun sign, meaning that you have something you can be proud of. And so think about something you be proud of, your future self will be proud of. Your legacy. What legacy do you want to leave behind, right? And so do you want to ruin your legacy? That's what Source is trying to help somebody to understand. It's like, yeah, that lion wants to come out, when a lot of stuff is being passed around, a lot of different spirits are in exchange of stuff. But Source is saying, This is a week you really get a chance to just relax, balance out your spirit, right? And like I said, there going to be some energies that's going to really feel some kind of way. They're going to be like, what is Leo keeping so secret? Like, what? Something about Leo seemed different this week. What's going on? Yeah, you're tapping into godly wisdom. That's what's different. You're tapping into wisdom. That's it. So yeah. So there could be an Aries and a Scorpio involved in something. And could give the impression that things are being made all about you, right? Like there's a competition going on here. There's a competition going on here. So they could be seen like a table. But source is saying to you, pray for worthiness, knowing your worth. Knowing your worth. Knowing your worth. 28, I'm a leader. There it is. That's it. Leader. In an effort to accomplish great things, you recognize the value of working with others. You make a capable and compassionate leader who can bring people together and drive a team toward achievement. Yep, drive a team toward achievement. Yeah, so that's what Source is trying to help somebody learn how to do. It's been coming out a lot in your readings, Leos, and being a leader, right? You don't want to throw your future, your legacy. You don't want to mess up your legacy by something that was like started out as an assumption or like a impulsive, something that was said, something struck a match or something. Right. So that is what I have for you all. Like I said, make it a peaceful week, Leos. Make it a peaceful week. And I feel like you will make it a peaceful week because this is what you want. Somebody definitely wants divine connections. And I feel like somebody could want, like I said before, somebody could, ultimately want like double blessings here. And so that may be something you consider. That's what I have for you. I'll see you all in the next reading. Bye.